Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Lane, and I'm the Director of Computing for the School of Social Ecology. Welcome to the fall orientation for graduate students from Computing Services. We're super excited to have you join us amongst COVID-19 and all the challenges that we are having. So we are excited that you are joining us in the fall. There is quite a bit of information that I have to give you regarding computing. However, some of the information due to COVID is changing quickly. So I'll give you kind of the general overview, especially in the lab situation that we have going on. And please check our computing website, which is computing.soceco.uci.edu for the latest updates and changes. We will update that on a regular basis so that you guys will have the most up-to-date information regarding the labs, because I know that's a lot of people's questions in the fall for their classes will be software and lab related. So stay tuned for that, and again, updates on our computing website. So just to start off with orientation, I want to let you know the best way to contact my team, especially during COVID, is our email address, and I'll give that to you. It's se.computing@uci.edu. So SE stands for social ecology, .computing@uci.edu. We do have a very small team in our unit. There are only 4 of us. And so we do recommend and request that any prior notification you can give us on anything regarding TAs or questions you might have about the labs, the more lead time you can give us, the better off we're going to be. We do check our account all day, every day. And so that is the best way to contact us. We also have a help desk number, but I think due to COVID, the best way to get a hold of us is email. So a couple of things regarding the computer labs. We do have 2 physical labs, and we are submitting plans for campus to find out if those labs can be open with the social distancing guidelines in place. The first lab is in Social Ecology 1, and it's room 306. And that lab is not for instructional purposes, but we use that for drop-in purposes. So if you have access to Social Ecology 1, you will have access to the Social Ecology 1 room 306 lab. So the second lab is in Social and Behavioral Sciences Gateway Lab, and that is room 4200, again 4200, and that is our primarily teaching lab. And that lab, depending on the COVID situation and if we get our COVID plans approved by campus, we will perhaps have some classes in there with social distancing in mind. So we're working on that now. We hope to have plans in place by the time you guys get here in mid to late September. Both of our labs are equipped with printing, and we use a system which is a kiosk system called WIPA. And WIPA can be done either remotely through your phone, it can be done via USB, or you can create a WIPA account and upload files to the WIPA account and then download them on one of the kiosks. There are other kiosks around campus that also support WIPA, so you can print in any of the WIPA campus locations should you find one of the kiosks. The printing prices are listed on the WIPA page, and they will also be listed on the computing website as well. Just to get you a little familiar with IT on this campus, there are 2 locations for IT and anything computer related that you need to be aware of. Well, maybe 3 that you should be aware of. One has to do with purchasing of equipment, which is obviously the bookstore, which is run by Barnes & Noble. If you guys have purchases or want anything from campus, wired, wireless headphones, microphone, all that kind of stuff, you can look at the bookstore if you are here on campus. The other 2 items about IT is on this campus, we're broken up into 2 groups of IT. I represent your social ecology director here, and we are your local IT group. Again, there's 4 of us here that help serve the School of Social Ecology. And there's also what we call central or campus IT, which is Office of Information Technology, or otherwise known as OIT. So we do not do campus password resets for UCI NetIDs, and we don't do password resets for Gmail. All of those can be handled through central IT, or their email address is oit@uci.edu. Again, oit.uci.edu. So if you do reach out to us for any reason regarding passwords, accounts, that kind of stuff, we may send you to central IT to get those issues addressed. So just so you're familiar with that. Security is a big deal on this campus and has become more and more of an issue with the COVID-related things and people working more and more remotely. So the campus VPN is available for any of you who might need it. And there are directions on the OIT website as to how to run the campus VPN. It is called Cisco VPN in case you look on a computer that may be university owned. Security, as far as data security, is also very, very important. As you get going with research, you might come across an area that will require reaching out to us regarding data security. And we are happy to help you with data security questions and or issues regarding or involving data security. One other thing about the labs that I forgot to mention, if you do happen to come to campus or you are on campus and using the labs, we ask you that please do not take any food or drink into the labs. We've had some problems in the past, like not coffee, no water, no nothing. If you could respect that, and if you end up being a TA and physically being in our labs, whether it be in fall or winter or spring quarter, please respect the fact that there is no food and drinks allowed in the lab. It's a very important aspect with a lot of problems that we've had over the years. So as a new graduate student, everyone will be given an account to the labs here locally in social ecology. The 2 labs I mentioned, Social Ecology 1, room 306, or SBSG 4200. Those labs are only open to graduate students by default, or people that are actually physically in the labs for class purposes. Again, COVID could possibly put a slight damper on that, but if you feel like you should have an account and you go try and log in and can't get in, just contact us at the se.computing@uci.edu email address, and we'll be sure to look it up and help you with that. We do get a list of graduate students, and so we load that up every fall and you should have access throughout your graduate journey here at UCI. So with that, a couple of items regarding COVID related stuff, especially regarding labs and software needed for lab classes. Like I mentioned, we're going to try and submit a plan to campus with social distancing in mind and try and get our labs to open in the fall. Stay tuned for that. In addition to that, OIT has what's called a virtual lab. You can go to OIT's main page, which is oit.uci.edu, and just in the search box in the top right, type in virtual labs, and it should take you directly to the virtual lab link, and it will show you how to reserve software that you may need. Also on that page is a list of software that the virtual labs support. In addition to that, OIT has central labs around campus, and each of the labs have different types of software depending on where they are located on campus. So the software closest to our school would have like SPSS or Stata, for example. And all of that information on which labs have which software is located on OIT's main site, oit.uci.edu. And in the search bar, just type in labs. And it will give you a list of the labs. It will give you a list of what's available as far as software goes in each of the labs. And also, I have been told that for COVID-related purposes, they are allowing people to remote into some of the machines in the computer labs across campus. I have heard information that some of those remote lab licenses are not supported by Macs. I have not tested this myself, but I just wanted you to be aware in case you do have a Mac and you're trying to access remotely one of the OIT labs. I hope to get more information about that before you guys come in September, but hopefully their lab website will have enough information for you to kind of guide you in the right direction for that. So with having been said that, I welcome you from computing to the School of Social Ecology for fall. We're excited you're here for COVID purposes or non-COVID purposes alike. Thank you so much for joining us, and looking forward to being able to see everybody in person and get to know all of you. Thank you so much. Hope you have a good year.